Alright. It's been a couple of situations, probably within the last year, on three separate occasions, where I found children, these are three different children, um, roaming a property by themselves. And I mean, these kids are like under 5. But actually, one child wasn't under 5. Sorry. Actually, one child wasn't found roaming on the property. She was only 3. And let me just back up. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you about the first one. Last year, probably, it's had to be in the wintertime. As you can tell right now, it's summer. But in the wintertime, a coworker of mine were outside of our shop, and we saw this child. She was just walking around on the property, and I mean, this was early in the morning. This had to be about 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, and she's just outside roaming by herself. She had on her jacket, her little boots, mittens, just walking around by herself. And we take her to the leasing office, and the apartment that she stayed in, it was a whole bunch of people living there. I probably can't even count how many people actually lived at that apartment. But these are people who were known for getting high all the time, drinking all the time, always causing a commotion. And it is just sad that some people, they care about their drugs and all of that stuff way more than their child. So we had the baby at the leasing office. We didn't know who she was with, so the police were called. They came out, they took her back to her apartment, and I guess no charges or anything were filed. So that was the end of that story. And I'll probably say about a month ago, a lady left her 3-year-old in her apartment by herself. And the next door neighbor just happened to be walking outside, and she saw that the door was cracked. So I guess she kind of took a peep inside, because it's about 9 o'clock in the morning. Door is cracked. You want to make sure that your neighbors are okay. And she opened the door and looked inside. The little 3-year-old girl was just sitting on the couch, sitting on the couch watching cartoons by herself, no one there. And we got in contact with the mother. Well, actually, she brought the baby down to the leasing office, and we got in contact with the mother. And the mother, her reply was, I went up the street just for a little while. I just went up to the store. I just went to the street, went up the street. I'm on my way back. But she said it in a manner like it was normal. She was just like, yeah, I just went up the street. I'm on my way back. I was just like, how do you leave a 3-year-old child by herself in an apartment so you can go up the street to do whatever? So that situation actually angered me a little bit, because I just felt like that she just really didn't care. And then today, we saw another little girl walking around on property. She had to be maybe 4. She can talk, pretty good. And she's just walking around on the property saying that she was waiting for her mommy, at the city bus stop. And we found out where she lived, and the assistant manager took her back to her apartment. And I guess the thing was that her mother probably went to work, on the bus, and she was supposed to be staying with some lady who was babysitting her at the time. And somehow she got out of the house by herself, and she's walking around on the property. And again, it's like 10 a.m. And I'm like, what type of parent or caregiver are you to where you don't notice a child is missing. Like I can't I just can't imagine my 3-year-old, just not around. It's just like it's like I know where she is all the time. And I just don't understand how some of these people are just, you know, they're just careless, and then they're just like, yeah, I just, oh, that's okay, yeah, whatever. It's like I don't understand, what this world is coming to. When you see situations like this, me being a parent myself, I can't, it's like I can't even imagine that. Like, who leaves their child home by themselves, and they're like under the age of 10, I mean, even under the age of 8, I'm just like, how are you, I mean, under the age of 5, like, how do you do that? So, that's just, I mean, it's one of the things that I've seen within the past year, and I'm just like, like, man, like what's really going on? But I'm pretty sure that there are other maintenance guys who've probably seen this all the time, and they probably see it all the time. But, for me to, be working, in these areas now, in certain areas, in a certain demographic, to actually see that is just, it's just really mind-boggling. It's like, what do you do in that situation? But I guess the upside is that all of these children were, returned home safely. None of them were hurt or injured, and I think that's a good thing. But man, some of you parents, man, you guys really, really have to pay attention to your children, and you really have to raise your children right. I mean, with all of these perverts out here and all of these sickos, I mean, that's like the perfect opportunity for some of these people. But I guess to each his own.